What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, in recent months, we've heard stories from former Charlotte Bobcat players about a 50-year-old Michael Jordan routinely beating his players. The ever-competitive Michael Jordan, at age 50, beating NBA players who were in their primes. We've heard this from Steven Jackson. We've heard this from Eduardo Nájera, who also, I remember him more prominently from the Dallas Mavericks. And now I think it's, what's the guy's name? Raymond Felton, who, of course, played in the NBA for quite some time. I think he was a point guard. It gets kind of confusing, though, because, of course, the Bobcats are now the Charlotte Hornets. If my memory serves me correctly, the original Charlotte Hornets moved to New Orleans. And then ultimately they became the New Orleans Pelicans. And then Charlotte got a new franchise, the Bobcats. But eventually they reverted to being back the Charlotte Hornets. So it's like the Pelicans, retroactively now have no history with the Charlotte Hornets, even though they did. So it can get kind of confusing. But anyway, just like the Thunder are seen as the same franchise as the Sonics, even though they call it Oklahoma City Thunder. But if the Sonics ever get their franchise back, then retroactively all history, prior history for the Sonics will no longer be with the Thunder, but with a new Sonics franchise. But anyway, it can get a little confusing at times. But, Raymond Felton was saying that Michael was kicking these dudes' asses. I'll put a link to the article in the pinned comment in the comment section below for you to read. But he was saying that, Michael Jordan was routinely kicking these guys' asses in practice. There was a lot of trash talking. Some of the games Mike would win maybe rather narrowly, but some of them he would really beat the shit out of these guys. But I think Raymond said that, he got a couple of good buckets off Mike or whatever. But, I got to get my bucket and I went home. But it just goes to show you this notion that I just find it interesting how a lot of these guys on the internet would say, Michael Jordan would struggle today. Michael Jordan would struggle today in today's NBA. Based on what? What are you basing that on? Because he's not a knockdown like Reggie Miller / Steph Curry three-point shooter? Is DeMar DeRozan a great three-point shooter? And DeMar DeRozan is a far cry from Michael Jordan, as good as he is. And he's been putting up 25, 26, 27 points a game the last couple of years. As a matter of fact, it's interesting that DeMar DeRozan's, some of his best years are coming in the twilight of his prime because it's so much easier to score. And if you got that mid-range game, it really adds to your efficiency. Look, some of the most efficient perimeter players are DeRozan, KD, Kawhi. But anyway, just thought I'd put that out there, man. Michael Jordan, the ultimate competitor. Tell me what you guys think.